guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for coming back and watching today's video as I wrap up this Disney cruise week on my channel. We just returned from our very first Disney cruise, and so I have taken this week on my channel to give you guys a whole week of Disney cruise related videos because I got so many questions while we were traveling on it that I decided this would be really fun to do. So if you're just stumbling upon this video, there are 3 other videos before this one that are on this same playlist on my channel. One was just my general overview of the Disney Cruise Line, what I thought of it, and then 2 of them were our vlogs from our trip. And then today I am giving you guys my top 10 tips for Disney cruises. If you are new to cruising, if you are wanting to take your very first Disney cruise, I am here to give you my top 10 best tips. These are things that I learned on the cruise and also things that I did and then it was very beneficial that I want to share with you guys. So that is what today's video is going to be. So let's jump into the tips. So my first tip is to book your Disney cruise way ahead. Now, before I cruised, we did book our cruise about 1.5 years before we took it. And I did that because I knew the price tag was going to take some time to save for, and also just for planning purposes. But what I learned on the cruise line through their vacation planner is that when a sailing opens up for bookings, the earlier you are, the better your price is. I learned that as the cruise fills up, the price goes up. So booking ahead, way out, also it helps you plan. You have more time to save for it, and you're getting the best price available. So booking your Disney cruise way ahead is definitely something you want to do. Like I said, we booked ours 18 months out. I will do that again for our second cruise, but I would think 1 year at least would probably give you a better price than if you were to do it 3 months, 6 months ahead. The next tip I have for you if you are going on a Disney cruise is to make sure you download the Disney Cruise Line Navigator app on your phone. It looks like this, and that thing will be so handy when you are on your cruise. It has every activity for the day and the time and the location. It's also how you can communicate with your family, say your husband, and if you don't want to use cellular data while you're out at sea, there's a messaging feature on there. The kids club can also get in touch with you that way. There's tons of things on the Disney Cruise Line Navigator app. Definitely download that, use it, and you'll be glad you did. The next tip I have for you guys was something that I learned on our cruise. I went into this under the notion that we probably weren't going to spend much money. We paid for everything in advance. All the food is included. We paid for our excursions ahead of time. So I figured we weren't going to really need much spending money on the boat. But there were some things that were extra charges that we did end up wanting. One of those things being like coffee, other than brewed coffee. You guys know I'm a coffee lover. I want my afternoon iced latte, and that costs extra money. Alcohol, of course, costs extra money. We only drank a glass of wine at a special dinner we had, so that wasn't really a big expense. But the popcorn and the candy for the shows, that was an extra charge. And so we did end up spending a little bit more money on the ship than I thought, and not on souvenirs, because we did plan for that, but just those few extra things. I was kind of surprised that, you know, we ended up spending $100, $200 on just extra stuff. The next tip that I have goes with that, and that is to pack snacks. Now you think, I paid a fortune for this cruise, I'm just gonna eat whatever food they have. But sometimes you don't want watermelon, or you don't want pineapple. Maybe you are like me and you work out and you want a protein bar. Or your kids are in the room and they just want some crackers or something. Little snack foods like that, they didn't have anything pre-packaged. Everything was like out in the open, and you could get like a turkey sandwich, but maybe you didn't really want that. So packing some snacks was helpful for the airport. It was helpful for the shows when we didn't want to buy the popcorn and candy. So I would really recommend packing some snacks into your suitcase. You could save yourself a lot of money if you know your kids are gonna want some gummy worms while they watch a show, to go ahead and pack those ahead of time. The next tip I have for you guys is, if you loved it as much as we do and did, to take advantage of the 10% discount, you get when you book your next cruise when you're on board the ship. Now, that might seem like, oh my gosh, I don't know what cruise I want to go on, which is exactly what happened with us. Well, they have this thing called a placeholder reservation, and all you have to do is put a $250 deposit per stateroom. So for our family, that's 2 rooms. So $500 deposit to save 10% on your cruise booking. You have 2 years to use that. The $500 is applied to your cruise, and then you save 10% for booking it while you are on board your current cruise. So add that into the budget, because once you're on the ship, you're gonna wanna go again. The next thing that I learned, or I should have expected, because we all know how Disney people are, is that people go all out for the themed nights. So even if that's not your cup of tea, if you're taking your kids on a Disney cruise, they are gonna be really sad when they see everybody dressed up in pirate gear for pirate night, head to toe, if you don't get on Amazon and get them some things, or Star Wars night or whatever. So if your cruise has a themed night, people go all out. They go all out. And you don't want to be the one that doesn't. And your kids will be very sad if they're the family without all of the pirate gear. So plan ahead, pack your stuff. But if you have a themed night, know that people go all out. The next tip I have for you is to see every single show that is on your cruise. Make that a priority. Those shows are Broadway caliber dance, comedy, musical theater. They're incredible. Definitely worth the time. Going to the pool for an extra hour does not compare to seeing the quality and the talent level that Disney Cruise Line has. So make sure to take advantage of that. To tie in with that is prepare for the pools to be crowded, especially on your days at sea. The pools are small, the hot tubs are small, and days at sea, everyone is out there. So that was kind of surprising to us. If you're someone who kind of doesn't want to sit shoulder to shoulder with other adults in a hot tub, you might not get in. I never got in the hot tub. So if you're planning on saying like, oh, we're going to be by the pool, of course my kids didn't care, but it was just much more crowded around the pool than I expected. The next tip I have for you guys is, if you are a first-time Disney cruiser, they will not give you a lanyard that holds your Key to the World card. That Key to the World card is the most important piece of your entire cruise. It's how you get on the ship and off the ship at your ports of call. It's how you check your kids in and out of the kids clubs. It's how you pay for everything on your cruise. So if you've cruised with them before, they give you a lanyard. But if you are brand new, you will not have one. And of course they have some for sale there, but they're triple the price of what you would pay on Amazon. So order some lanyards for all of your kids, for everyone that you're cruising with, so that way they're easy to wear, they don't get lost, and save yourself tons of headaches and trouble. I was so glad that I bought our lanyards ahead of time, so make sure you do that. I'll have a link to the ones that I bought down below, but just make sure you've got the lanyards. The next tip I have for you guys is that if you do go to Castaway Cay, make sure you snorkel. It was hands down our favorite thing we did on the cruise. It was so fun. We didn't anticipate paying for the snorkeling gear, and there is an extra charge for it, but it was so worth it, and I'm so glad that we didn't decide to save that money because we might never make it back there again. And it was amazing. So if you're going there, pay for the snorkeling gear, do it. Disney places things under the water, but it's still so fun because you come upon it and your kids get to see it, and it's like, it's really, really fun. And we saw stingrays, we saw tons of different fish. We didn't see turtles, but it was still so cool. And my last tip for you guys to make the 10th tip I have for Disney cruises is to prepare to tip high. These people that will wait on your family hand and foot are amazing. They go above and beyond. They cut up your kids' food. They know what you like and what you don't like. They go so far out of what they need to make sure you have an amazing experience. Your room attendant, all of them. Now, I knew that they kind of automatically charge for the gratuity, but they give you the option, of course, to adjust it. And these people spend months away from their families all over the world. We had from Scotland, Mexico, India, and they are on those ships for months at a time away from their families, and they work incredibly hard with hardly any time off, and they show up every day smiling, and trust me, you are gonna want to bless them. So anticipate tipping above 20% for everything. Like, trust me, you're gonna want to, and they deserve it. So prepare to tip very, very high. On our cruise, it broke it down to, I think, like the minimum was $13.50 per person per day for each server. So the head server, the assistant server, the room attendant, and then the there was one other thing. Anyways, it equaled out to like about $600 for a 7-day cruise in gratuity for them, and we upped it because they deserve it. So just prepare to tip high. If it comes down to doing an excursion or tipping these people that will love on your family and take such good care of you, if you have to choose between those two things, don't do the excursion and take care of those people. So that is something I wish I would have known a little bit ahead of time, was just that we were going to feel compelled to go way above the minimum that Disney, you know, includes. So those are my 10 tips. If you are new to Disney cruises, make sure you watch the other videos on this playlist because, like I said, this was the ending of Disney Cruise Line week on my channel. If you have any feedback and you've been on a Disney cruise, leave your tips down below. If you have any questions, ask them. I will get back to you. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys in my next one soon. Bye.